I'd like to start out saying that I'm not a professional mechanic by any means, but I do have some mechanical skills. And when it comes to some of this, the repair shops are just so outrageously expensive, and I feel I can do it myself. This one did try my patience, and it all has to do with this guy, which you can buy. At least I ordered this off of Amazon for $37 and change plus tax, and that's all it ended up costing me. So repair shops are over $100 an hour just for labor. If you try it, all I can say is good luck, and that this is the way that I chose to do mine. How you do it is up to you. First off, I have to say I'm one of the guilty ones that did not run my generator in my RV on a regular basis. This is obviously the 4KW, and I got out to a dry camping spot, and my generator wouldn't start. It would crank and crank and crank, and nothing would happen. So I took some starting fluid just as the fastest test, took off the air filter cover, sprayed some starting fluid in there, used the start button out here, and it started up, and it would run as long as I'd keep spraying a little bit of starting fluid in there. Then it would quit. I was near a small town. I went to check to see if there's anybody that could work on it. Obviously, everybody's short of help, so that wasn't available, and they said they didn't try to repair these carburetors. All they would do is replace it, and shop time was over $100 an hour. So anyhow, ended up where I had to run an extension cord from a friend's motorhome, and was able to do some of the things. I did try changing the spark plug. Ended up, the whole thing got so flooded from cranking that I had fuel coming out the exhaust, and just kind of gave up on it till I got home. I went on Amazon and looked for these carburetors, and they're, I think, $40 and change with tax. The hard part is, and the very frustrating part, was trying to get this out, because this piece does not move and this piece does not move. There's a little bit of foam in there. You can get it to move a tiny bit, but where the real frustration comes in is, first of all, you've got two bolts, one on this side and one on the other side, that you have to come in through the air filter. Take the cover off, remove the air filter. You can't see. I used a mirror to find out where it was at. They're 10 millimeter bolts. After some fighting and frustration, I was able to get them out. Carburetor was loose, but I couldn't get it out, pulling and pulling. Finally got it out, but this black piece is actually a piece of rubber, and it seems like it's molded on, because I couldn't get it off even after the fact. And the problem of trying to get these off, and this is my old one, is that in either state of normal, you can see this butterfly, and this is for the throttle. When it's closed, the choke is open, and vice versa, so that no matter which way you go, you have one or the other. And the area that you have to remove this is the width of the carburetor. Well, in my frustration, I pulled and fought it and everything, and I ended up bending this piece of the choke, and I didn't care because I'd bought the new one. So trying to put the new one in, I ran into the same problem. Either way, you have one of the butterflies on one side or the other open, so it won't slide into that opening. So the trick that I found was this tab right here, and that runs off of the throttle. So this is part of the choke, and this one is the throttle. So if you move one, it pushes the other, and that causes the butterflies to be one way or the other. So what I ended up doing is I took a pair of pliers and I just bent this up high enough to get over this piece, and then it slid right in without any problem. And then after I had it in, I just gently bent that piece back down. So that's my tip to try to ease your frustration factor. And I know after watching videos, it seems like everybody has the same problem. So with that, got the new carburetor in, and it started right up and it runs fine. Good luck. A little postscript that I forgot to add that also added to the frustration was trying to get the two bolts in. I ended up using a deep well socket to put on the 10mm bolt, and was able to get it in there, and while moving the carburetor around a little bit, I was able to get the bolt in and then get the thread started. Once I had both sides started, I was able to go in with a socket with an extension and tighten it down. The other thing was the gasket, and I know a lot of people say they have a hard time. I ended up using some high temperature gasket maker silicone that I just rubbed a thin layer, I figured, and that's on the air filter side. So I sprayed carburetor cleaner on there after the fact, or not cleaner, but starting fluid, to see if it would rev up, and that would be if there was a leak, and there wasn't. So anyhow, like I said, good luck.